Hello and welcome back to F1 22 Driver Career Mode. My name is Chris and well, today it's the Belgian Grand Prix, coming off the back of what was an incredible race in France. We won our first race ever on this game. We also took a fastest lap, which was incredible. So 26 points in the bag, shot us right up the standings. We're in P7 now in the championship, just behind Sergio Perez. Well, say just behind, 20 points behind. In a Red Bull. So yeah, we're feeling good going into this one. Normally go pretty well around Spa, so should be a good one for us. Let's have a little look at the upgrades we've got coming to the car. Minor engine power upgrade, looking like it might go on pretty soon. Yep, indeed it does. And a fuel efficiency upgrade, another minor one, should come just in time for Spa, as we've got a little summer break in between now and when the race takes place. So lots of little upgrades coming on, nothing major, but it should help. And with all that said, we had a little go in a Ferrari, an F8, just before the race kicked off. And yeah, it was a good time. But we have a little announcement from the FIA. Looks like there's going to be some regulation changes as we go into the following season. They haven't said what departments will be affected yet, so going to have to keep an eye on that one. So we're probably going to slow down on the upgrades for now, save up some resource points, and then hopefully we can save all the upgrades we've done this year, head into next season, and we'll be good, and then we can carry on. But we'll see as we head to the track for qualifying at Spa. Let's see what we can do. On the track then, oh, Nicolas Latifi has done something. Looks like an engine failure of some sort. As he pulls over, and that's his qualifying done. Shame. Anyway, on to our qualifying as we come around to complete our first flying lap. What's it going to be? P2. I'll take that. And P5 then gets us comfortably into Q2, which is good news. We have a good momentum coming into this race, obviously after a race win. But look at Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, P4 so far. But yeah, we lose Daniel Ricciardo, Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, and Nicolas Latifi, of course, with his engine failure from Q1 as we head into Q2. And here we are for a flyer. See what we can do to get ourselves into Q3. I reckon we should have pretty good pace, and that we could maybe out-qualify Sergio Perez given the form that he's had at the moment, but we'll see as we come up towards the line. What's it going to be?
Yes, you've just put in the fastest lap. Good job.
Provisional pole position in Q2. Obviously it doesn't really matter, but second place for us. Unfortunately our teammate did get knocked out, but shit, Charles Leclerc just a little bit ahead, 2 and a bit tenths. We could be on for a very good result here today if we can keep this up. So yeah, we'll see what we do in Q3. But Kevin Magnussen then not carrying on his form into Q2, getting knocked out. Our teammate Ocon, Gasly, Guan Yu Zhou and Sebastian Vettel leave us for Q2. And yeah, into the top 10 we go.
Ready to jump out if you get too hot in there. There's a problem with the cooling system and it's going to take us a few minutes to correct it.
And we can't go straight out because we've got an issue, but the weather has arrived. So we do eventually get out. Unfortunately, pretty much the entire field have set laps on inters, and now it's full wet weather. So don't really have high hopes for this one, if I'm being honest, but we'll see what we can do. Currently we're just ahead of Mick Schumacher, but oh, that's not good. There goes our front wing then, so that'll be our qualifying over. And it's going to be a P10 start then. Could have been better, could have been a lot better. I think we had the potential maybe to get up to P6, maybe P5. But Sergio Perez finding some form up in P2. Charles Leclerc takes pole position, and Lewis Hamilton starts on the second row alongside his teammate George Russell. So an interesting qualifying. Let's see what the race will bring us.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team back in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special just around one of the many corners of this fan favourite circuit. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Sainz, Valtteri Bottas, Marshall, Magnussen, Gasly, Hamilton and Guan Yu Zhou, Vettel, Verstappen, Alex Albon and Mick Schumacher. They've taken a grid penalty. Stroll, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo and Nicolas Latifi. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Norris and Yuki Tsunoda. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want you to bog down.
Well, more grid penalties mean that we find ourselves not in P10, but in P6. Valtteri Bottas just ahead of us, and then Carlos Sainz just ahead of him. So we're on the third row, which is going to be an interesting one. We get to maybe fight at the top. Let's see. If we can get a good start, we could find ourselves climbing up the places into turn 1. See what we can do.
Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Feeling pretty good about this one as we wait for everybody.
The sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Here we go then, in Belgium. And we're underway for the Belgian Grand Prix. Not a bad start, you know. The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc coming straight over to cover off Sergio Perez, but we're going to go round the outside on Bottas and Magnussen as well. What's he doing up there? He had a cracking start. Carlos Sainz just ahead of us, but we do manage to get past Valtteri Bottas on lap 1. Charles Leclerc currently leading from Sergio Perez, from George Russell and Carlos Sainz in the second Ferrari, but yeah, good start for us then as we head along. Oh, George Russell. That was a ballsy move around the outside, but Sergio Perez is going to have the inside line for the next corner. And it looks like Sergio's going to come out on top of this one, but Carlos Sainz is saying, I'll get involved in this as well. Thank you very much. We are right behind. Maybe waiting to capitalise on this, we'll see. But wow, look at this. Unbelievable stuff. Kevin Magnussen having a little look as we go a little wide through Pouhon. We're not going to let him through that easy. Carlos Sainz did get ahead of George Russell. So George Russell finds himself in P4 from what was a P3 start, I believe. So yeah, not the best start for him, but it could have gone worse. We're doing all right though. Up into P5 from P6, and Bottas has dropped himself back a couple of places. I reckon we might be poised to have a go at George Russell here on the way into the bus stop. So let's see if we've got the pace. I think we could have, you know. Right on his gearbox. He's going super defensive already. What's it going to be? Round the outside maybe? No, I don't think so. We've gone super deep there. No, not on this lap, but we seem to have a bit of pace, and that's always a good sign. Who's this then coming up the inside? Kevin Magnussen as we go really deep into turn 1. K-Mag comes through, and that's us back down into P6. But we're going to come back. Are we going to go side by side through Eau Rouge? It looks like we are. We're not backing out of this one. But we've gone off track. You can see from our onboard, we completely went off the track there to overtake. So we are going to have to give the place back. We give the place back, but Bottas is right there. So we're going to have to be really careful about this one. We cover him off. Now we can focus on chasing back after Kevin Magnussen for that place. That P5, we want that. And then ideally we want to be chasing after George Russell ahead. So let's see what we can do. onto lap 2, or further into lap 2 rather, and we just have incredible pace through this section. I don't know what it is. We're going to sail past Kevin Magnussen and bring ourselves up into P5. Charles Leclerc setting the fastest lap. Currently out in the lead.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Unfortunately for us, I was about to say, George Russell and the front runners have pulled an absolute monster gap, but we got our heads down in the clean air, and on lap 6 we caught up with George and we caught up with Perez just ahead as well, so we might be on for a podium here today if we can get this move done soonish and then maybe pull out something of a gap. We'll see as we head to the end of lap 6. George has just got the run on us, unfortunately, so we seem to be faster than them in certain areas of the circuit, but they seem to be way faster than us in others, so it's going to be a difficult one. But here we are with Carlos Sainz then, who started the race on soft tyres. Very odd strategy. On lap 5 he's in and he's putting on mediums. That pretty much means he's on a 2-stop. He may have just ruined his race, but back on board with us. We're on to lap 8, chasing down George Russell still in P4. We've got a nice comfy cushion to K-Mag back 4.6 seconds away. So Carlos Sainz on his brand new medium, setting fastest lap, but as I said, I don't think those mediums could go to the end, so he's probably ruined his race there with that strategy, but nothing new there being a Ferrari driver, eh? We'll focus on us and chasing down George Russell. And George Russell at the moment is having to choose as we close in. Do I defend? Do I attack? Do both? What's the tricky one? Because Perez is right there as well. Oh,
they're retiring from the race. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Okay, safety car.
Understood. Copy that.
That'll spice things up a little bit. Here's what happened to Vettel to cause the safety car. Oh, he just dropped it on the curb. And round he went. It wasn't even that much curb, to be honest. I don't know if that was curb or just a bit overzealous. This is the onboard from Daniel Ricciardo's car, but pretty much everybody is going to be pitting. Charles Leclerc in the lead, putting on the hard tyres. George Russell putting on the hard tyres. We are going to put the hard tyres on. Sergio Perez has been jumped by Russell in the pit stop. That's not ideal. As we come to the end of the safety car period, Charles Leclerc is going to control the pace and get us back underway. If we're clever about this, we might be able to jump Perez. I don't know that we will, but let's see what happens into turn 1 of the safety car restart. George Russell's in second place, but we are going to send one up the inside into turn 1, and we're onto the podium at the moment. Who'd have thought? Can we hold that position though? That's the main thing. We've obviously not got DRS yet because we've just come off the back of a safety car, so that's good for us in one way.
The car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
It's good for us because it means obviously Sergio can't just then close straight back in on us. We might be able to close into George and then pull out a bit of a gap maybe, but let's see what happens. Charles Leclerc I think is going to go absolutely clear. He's already 1.5 seconds up the road, but here we are, end of lap 11, and right behind George Russell, Perez has dropped back a little bit, and Sainz there on his mediums, currently in P5, but I don't think he's going to stay there.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
As we set a fastest lap being towed along by the Mercedes, which is great. Whether we can keep it or not, different story, we'll see. Lap 14 though, and we are going to go for it. George going defensive again. We're on the grass. Oh, I thought we were going to go for it. George has locked up and sent us both deep into the bus stop chicane. I wanted to go around the outside. I think he thought that was going to happen as well, and then he just broke super late and sent us both straight on, which is unfortunate.
I've got some information on Schumacher. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Mick Schumacher is retiring. Unfortunate for Haas. They were having a decent race, I think. I think they still are. K-Mag is still doing pretty well. Not where he was at the start, but still a good result so far for them. We want second, though. We're not going to settle for third.
We're catching the car ahead. Well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race. Gap to your teammate
And I think we can do it.
is 16.0 seconds.
We've got 5 laps to go. Half a second to George. I think we can do this. We've been keeping right with him the entire race. If we can put him under a bit of pressure, he might make a mistake. Heck, we might even just have the pace here. DRS is going to be open. We're going to go for it. Yes, we are. DRS overtake. And before we even get into the braking zone, we're past. And that is a P2.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy.
Engineer's happy with that one. Now we've just got to hold on to it, which is easier said than done because he's obviously very, very quick. And we haven't got anything to stop him. I mean, he's going to get DRS on us on all the DRS zones because I don't think we're going to be able to pull away. So here he comes before even the DRS zone into Row Rouge, and he's through straight away. That does mean that we are going to be the ones who get DRS here. Look, as we go around the outside. Who's going to break the latest is probably the question here. George on this occasion. And we're back down into P3. That's unfortunate, but I believe that we can still get him. If we bide our time, maybe get him on the last lap. Might be the best way to do this, but we'll see as we chase down George Russell in the Mercedes, in our Alpine, in Season 1. This is actually blown away by this. Obviously, long term, we want to be winning the championship, but in Season 1, I didn't think we'd be up the front. So to be up the front here now is very promising indeed as we head into the latter half of the season. Are we going to get George here? Is the onboard of George in the corner as we send one? A huge send up the inside. And we do. Up into P2 once again. Now we've just got to try and hold on to it. Easier said than done, of course, as we found out last time.
The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it.
Yeah. A gap indeed. Not really. Anyway, on to the final lap. We've got about half a second between myself and George. I've got absolutely no ERS left. We're just going to have to absolutely hope that he cannot get alongside us here. He's closing in at a rapid rate of knots. Not quite enough to make a move there though. And we tend to be a bit quicker through the middle sector, so hopefully we can hold him off as we head into the final sector, which is where, if he's going to make a move, it's going to be into the chicane at the end as our DRS goes offline. Not that it matters because we're not going to be able to use it, so that's fine. 0.2 the gap between myself and George. Who's going to come out on top here then? Hopefully us. We ride on board with George Russell into the last corner. He has a little look around the outside, but he just hasn't got enough speed. And we are going to bring it home for a second place finish. Unbelievable. That's, yeah. What?
I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you very much.
A win last week, a second place this week. What is happening?
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
What a result that was. That was incredible. Not what I expected. I was expecting maybe a P6, maybe P5 at a push. in terms of the finish for this weekend, especially after the qualifying we had, but with all the penalties, we found ourselves with a good opportunity, and we took it with both hands. We find ourselves not just on the podium, but in second place. That's always nice. A good haul of points, and we did get the fastest lap as well, so 19 points to add to our tally, which should put us comfortably as a constructor in 4th in the championship. Esteban Ocon coming home for P11 didn't manage to get himself any points, but he started P16, so again it was a decent race for him. But let's have a look at the championship then. So we are in P7, as I said, a little bit behind Sergio Perez, and closing that gap ever so slightly in this race with that unexpected finish. Esteban Ocon down in P10, but still picking up some really good points across the season, and that's what we need if we want to get that P4, which we are comfortably getting at the moment from McLaren. We're nowhere near Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari, so we can forget about that, but P4 is the goal for this season, so hopefully we can do it. Anyway, next time out, we're going to Monza. Should be a good one, so if you enjoyed this video, leave us a little like, drop us a little comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.